The Evansville Purple Aces are going to get one at some point, winless in the Valley, but with experience. KJ Riley and crew taking on the SIU Salukis. Eric McGill's experience, the senior from Memphis, helping lead the Salukis, but make no mistake, this is about the freshman Marcus Domask and the Salukis ready to go at home. We welcome you to Carbondale and the Banterra Center as Southern Illinois hosts Evansville in the Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week. The Valley on ESPN. Tom Ackerman with you. Kevin Lehman will be joining me. Let's go first to February 5th. And this is Evansville hosting Southern Illinois. And a tight game here as the Purple Aces, a couple of easy buckets, and then SIU locks in. And the Salukis come away with a victory, one of their 9 in league play, 64-60. And Kevin, the Salukis are 9-5 in the league. Now Evansville's 0-14. They are going to get one at some point.
Remember, this is an Evansville team that went to Kentucky and won in Rupp Arena. They are talented, playing well under Licklider. And Southern, they're still in a hunt for a league championship.
That they are, with just 5 losses in the league. Now they're going to have to deal with KJ Riley. He's experienced. The kid from the Bronx can play.
Well, the kid from the Bronx, he's a senior. He's got some senior urgency going, averaging over 19 a game in his last 2. He can turn the corner and get to the hoop. This is a rare bird. He has made more free throws than field goals. Excellent ability to penetrate and get deep into your defense.
On the other side, what a freshman talent he is, Marcus Domask.
Leading candidate for freshman of the year in the Valley. He can score at all levels, has strength and power, and he's not afraid of the moment. He is the game winner to beat the Bears of Missouri State.
You have any comment on one layout?
Here are tonight's starting lineups. Presentation of Casey's General Store. Sign up for new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's Cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools. Newton Coolman, DeAndre Williams returning for Evansville. We'll get into that. Newton and Riley as well. Domask, Suggs, McGill, Benson, Lance Jones. Off we go as Benson tips it to Evansville, wearing the purple uniforms and the home whites for the Salukis. What a crowd. Banterra Center here in Carbondale. This place gets rolling, and it will be loud tonight. Riley with the ball for Evansville, and the Aces looking for that first win in league play under Coach Todd Licklider. And now we're going to go back the other way as our official, Bert Smith, makes the call.
Lance Jones caught an inadvertent elbow from DeAndre Williams as he tried to shoot the gap for the steal.
There it is. And the officials will talk it over. Williams, a super talent, a sophomore forward out of Houston, 4-time Valley Newcomer of the Week. He has been out for 12 games with back trouble and returns to this game. We'll see how much he plays, which takes us to our keys to the game. Kevin Lehman, a production of Holiday Inn Conference Center, the preferred hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference in Carbondale.
Well, for Evansville, it's about making shots. And Tom, they've been doing that recently. 13 threes when they go to the Knapp Center at Drake. Also, they got to stay the course. They've got a third coach in Todd Licklider. They're improving in every area. They've increased their point production, their field goal percentage, threes made, assists. They got to believe in Todd Licklider and move forward. Look at Illinois, Southern Illinois. Got to get their mojo back.
That they do. Got to find a way. And here we go with these two as we are underway in Carbondale. Just 30 seconds into the game. The very talented Marcus Domask wearing number 1. Watch out for him. And this Saluki team will move the ball and they will defend. On offense, can they get it going early? They can't there as Jones misses the layup, the freshman. And a foul is called and it goes against Jones. Todd Licklider, former Iowa coach, taking over in the middle of this season, the coach of the Purple Aces. So much experience, a trusted name in college basketball, that's for sure. Southern Illinois. What a history it has been here in Carbondale. Speaking of coaches, you just walk down the hallways of this building and you see most recently Bruce Weber, Matt Painter. As that layup is missed, but tipped back up and in by Juwan Newton. Chris Lowry did a terrific job here. Barry Hinson most recently, and now Bryan Mullins trailing 2-0.
Mullins, a former player, this team has taken on his personality, grit, defense.
Domask found himself under the basket. Instead, they bring it to Benson, and Barret Benson, the grad transfer, makes it happen.
Benson has been playing with much more confidence and strength as of late.
Transfer from Northwestern. Graduated in 3 years from Northwestern.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. He's working on his graduate degree here for the Salukis.
Finding himself open on the baseline, and missing was Riley, and now a foul underneath the basket. They're going to get Williams there.
He's gotten in the action. We saw the elbow, invert elbow early, and now he crashes the glass. He's been out 12 games with back spasm, Tom, but look at the activity of DeAndre Williams as he crashes the window for the Purple Aces.
2-2 game, 2 minutes in. Glad you're with us. The Valley on ESPN, the 9-5 in league play Salukis against the 0-14 Aces, who beat #1 Kentucky this season. We know the talent is there. It's Benson. He'll try for another, and this time he plows into the defender, and it's an offensive foul. Hitting the deck was Kuhlman.
We've had a bevy of fouls here to start this game. Both teams trying to feel out one another. And you look at this Evansville team, they're going to spread you out. You saw that high post pass earlier from DeAndre Williams. Tough to guard. No true center.
Sam Cunliffe, he had 17 in that game against Kentucky. That three missed. Fighting for the rebound underneath, and the Salukis able to corral it. Here's Jones to the trail. Suggs back to Jones. 3-ball, and SIU up by 3.
Great awareness by Ronnie Suggs. He was a trail man, caught it and threw it right back to Jones, whose defender sunk in the middle. Suggs on Sam Cutler. This is a great matchup to keep an eye on. Suggs considered their best one-on-one defender for the Salukis.
Riley, as my partner mentioned, he can get to the line and does it often. There's a three, and that splashes in for Kuhlman, who was 7 of 12 from 3 in the last 2 games, Kevin.
They had a huge game at Drake. Knocked in 5 triples against the Bulldogs. This is a Evansville team that's really been playing well of late. Scary team.
And Riley lays it in, and Evansville has a lead, 7-5.
Pick 6 by the senior, KJ Riley.
KJ Riley. So important to this team, trying to stay together here in this tough league. What a move by McGill to get an opening, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Riley now with 996 points. He's 4 away from the 1,000th point for the senior.
Here's McGill making his move.
Good scoop up under, draw the contact. McGill's got some toughness to him, Tom. I really like his game. One of the best rebounding guards in the Valley.
Sounds like his coach, Bryan Mullins, was as tough a guard as you'd find in this league. He could score, he could dish, could snag a rebound or two, steal, stare you down. He was a player, man.
Well, this team has taken on his personality. They're 10th in the nation in points allowed. You got to go back to Bryan Mullins' junior year when they were that good defensively.
Freder King tries to get it to the hot-handed Kuhlman. Now Noah will take one, and the rebound goes to Benson.
You can see Evansville has the no-post offense. It's 5 out A lot of pick and pop moves and then drives and kicks.
McGill finding a way again, and this time we're going the other way. That call made by Grimshaw, Gene Grimshaw, Barret Benson. And the fouls adding up quickly. It's Evansville, KJ Riley putting up a fight here in Carbondale. The Salukis and the Purple Aces are even at 7 apiece. Early in the first half with Kevin Lehman on Tom Ackerman. SIU got off to a hot start. The talk of the league, I would say. The media picked them to finish last. And look what they're doing now, drawing students, drawing high school kids. We have hundreds of FFA kids. It's FFA night, hundreds of future farmers of America. The students, meanwhile, are being fed free pizza by Coach Mullins. He bought pizza for all the kids, so they're being entertained. They also provided faculty and staff with a valid ID, free admission tonight, and discounts if you want to bring an extra person. They do it right here.
The dog pound is full, and their stomachs are full, Tom.
They're drawing 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 a night here in a place that holds about 8.
Well, we can get rocking. Ranterra Center.
Riley, this is the 3. Rebound for Domask.
Barret Benson picked up his second over the back. He's going to sit possibly the rest of the half.
And DeAndre Williams for Evansville also has 2 fouls. So some early foul trouble for those 2 players. In a tight ball game, McGill has more points. That's 4 now for McGill on the jumper.
Great feel using that ball screen. McGill, he's asking the official for a timeout because he's going to lace up the shoe. He knocked that shot in with the laces hanging out.
He's out defending to the basket and counted. A terrific drive by Cunliffe.
Tom, McGill literally just got done lacing up his shoe when Cunliffe turned the corner on him. That's what Evansville does. They spread you out, three-point line, and they pound it into the paint. Cunliffe's been on fire late for the Purple Aces.
The Seattle product, Cunliffe, 6'8", and he can do damage. Had 17 in that Kentucky game. He scored 25 at Drake. In fact, Kevin, in 6 of his last 7 games, he scored 14 or more points. He is someone they're definitely going to count on tonight to get points on the board for them. Good drive by Suggs, puts it in with the left hand.
Both teams are attacking the nail. They set Suggs up, and he's left-handed. They get him on the right wing so he can do that drive with his left, the sweeping move, and the tough finish by Suggs.
1-point lead for SIU. Cunliffe now double-teamed, and they get it back out. Here's Hall.
And Brendan Gooch in the lineup for the Salukis because of the Benson foul issues. He's been good here on help defense.
And another basket for Evansville as Hall gets into the act. A lead for the Purple Aces.
Evansville drags you out with those ball screens. Salukis kept 2 on the ball. Dive man open. Both these teams a little 5-out, 0-in look.
Domask spinning and scoring as he's fouled by Cunliffe. That's what he can do. Marcus Domask just getting started.
Look at the talent of this freshman. Spin move, strong finish on Cunliffe. Domask at the free throw line. 2019 Wisconsin Mr. Basketball. We told Bryan Mullins, it's always nice to get lucky in recruiting, because I said, how good did you think Domask was going to be when you signed him? Liked his physicality, baby-faced assassin.
It was assistant coach Pat Monahan who recruited Domask at first, asked him if he wanted to talk to Bryan Mullins after he reopened his recruitment following a coaching change at Northern Kentucky. And he ended up here. Certainly drew a lot of attention. terrific player out of the state of Wisconsin. Hall, he's going to try to score again and can't. Grabbing the rebound, keeping it in bounds. And SIU's Karrington Davis, another talented redshirt freshman. They have 4 players on this team who were high school state champions. Davis, one of them, out of Chaminade in St. Louis. Here's the turnover. Look out here. Riley with the drive, has it knocked away. Who's it off of? It's going to stay here, says Gene Grimshaw.
That's the blueprint that Bryan Mullins is using. You see him coming downhill. Riley trying to slither through the defense. But Bryan Mullins said, much like Porter Mosier, recruit guys who have won championships at the high school or junior college level. They understand what being in the hunt is late in the season.
We talked to Bryan Mullins before the game. I asked him about his relationship coaching under Porter Moser and what he learned from him. One of the things, the attention to detail. Practice so important. And Porter, of course, learning that from many, including Rick Majerus.
Bryan Mullins said he could share a lot of Rick Majerus stories with us.
I bet.
He didn't have time to do it.
Porter with his own coaching tree now. Frederking lost the defender, in and out. Davis gets it to McGill. Here come the Salukis.
Good transition defense, and Ronnie Williams back in the game with 2 fouls.
McGill so quick, able to find the open man, and that 3 missed by Trent Brown. Brown, another one of those state champions out of Scottsdale, Arizona.
Now the blueprint Porter Mosier used to get a team to the Final Four. Bryan Mullins using the same blueprint. See, we took some better guys this year, but elected not to because he was really wanted team chemistry. He understood the winning culture.
Trying to build something special. There's a 3. Labinowitz. And Evansville has retaken the lead here. What a first half for them. They come in, not backing down an inch. 1-point lead for the Purple Aces. And that's with DeAndre Williams on the bench with 2 quick fouls. First game for him after missing a dozen. Domask. And SIU back on top.
What that move by the freshman. Rocker step. Froze John Hall. Got the hand down and just pulled up, stroked it right in his grill.
You know, at first they weren't really sure how they would utilize him in the post as a 3 goes down for Frederking, the kid from nearby Oakville, Illinois. And they wondered, is he a guard? Can we use him in the post? Where's his best? As it turns out, he's a basketball player, Kevin. You can use him anywhere, and that's what they're doing. You'll see him post up. You'll see him play outside.
He's a bucket getter, lid lifter, a hooper.
McGill with the miss. And here's Evansville with a chance. And they lead by 2 to expand this lead. Shamar Givens, guard number 5 at the top of your screen, leads the Valley in assist to turnover ratio.
Williams calling for the ball. He's got a mismatch.
Playing with 2 fouls. Williams gets the rebound. Goes back. No. And able to get it is Davis.
Williams looking for the call. Gene Grimshaw says that was clean. Hey, how many times we try to slot players? Are they 1, 2, 3, 4? Domask along with Williams. They're hoopers. Get them on the court.
Facing up against Hall, trying to get by him and scoring. Oh, that's a basketball player's. That's a scorer's move right there. Marcus Domask getting past John Hall.
Well, people have compared Domask to a young Doug McDermott. His ability to score at 3 different levels.
We head to a break with Evansville and SIU tied at 18. Frederking dialing up long distance in Carbondale. Back at Banterra Center and Purina Dog Chow sponsoring this look at our standings. Crafted in the USA by people who care with high quality ingredients. That's the Dog Chow promise. Kevin Lehman, we have a battle on our hands at the top of the valley because Northern Iowa is getting it handed to them by Indiana State. It's 53-34 with 12:44 to go in Terre Haute.
Southern Illinois within striking distance. Now Sunday, they go to Northern Iowa. So a chance to play a team ahead of you in the standings. You had that great game last night, overtime. Missouri State losing to Bradley. Valpo goes in the Knapp Center, losing overtime to Drake. This is the time of year they're battling for position.
If you want to be successful in Arch Madness, listen to this.
For us, it's about, playing the right way for 40 minutes, and that's what I'm stressing to our guys. Everyone's got to play a little bit better, and as a team, we got to take one more step forward before we head into St. Louis.
They did not play well for 40 minutes against Bradley, but they played great for 20 and almost won the game. Cunliffe puts back his miss, and Evansville takes the lead again. But that's the thing. If they can play 40 minutes like they did in the second half against Bradley, this SIU team's going to be tough to stop.
That was Brian Mullins. The only time he's disappointed in their effort in the first half against Bradley. Of course, Bradley came in and stopped their home winning streak. They'd won 7 games in a row. Dropped the last 2.
Domask scoring for SIU and tying this game.
He's becoming a problem inside for the Purple Aces. Domask is taken to the block. Scored in traffic. It's Cunliffe. How about that last move by Sam Cunliffe? Great second jumper.
We'll see if the Aces have an answer. And taken away from Kuhlman. Here comes Brown. They leave it for Domask. Long three for Marcus Domask. My goodness.
He's already got 10 in this game for the Salukis.
He's a talent. That's for sure.
Freshman climbing the charts. That puts him over 400 points for a freshman.
They're going to have some fun around here with Marcus Domask. Inside all alone, Kuhlman with the lay-in.
Miscommunication on defense. Domask helped too long. Kuhlman with the rim dive. Easy basket.
Can SIU answer? A 1-point lead under 8 minutes first half.
Slow start for both squads, but since then they've had trouble stopping one another.
Domask again, short. So here's the thing, he's got a big man in Hall out guarding him. So he got the size advantage, but he tries to draw a player that might not be as quick out on the perimeter. He's a tough player to defend, Domask.
Well, earlier he took Hall to the basket and scored.
Cunliffe's rainbow shot misses, and here comes Domask bringing it up the floor.
Southern team plays with great pace. They know when to push it, when to pull it back out. Not afraid to go deep in the shot clock.
Foul called. It's going against Evansville. The whistle against Labinowitz. And the first for Labinowitz. It's team foul number 5 on Evansville, and Southern Illinois goes into the break with a 1-point lead at home. Back at SIU, tonight's Enterprise Bank and Trust MVC Scholar Athlete of the game is Evansville's Michaela Harvey, a senior soccer defender from Waterloo, Illinois. Harvey earned second team All-MVC honors, first team MVC Scholar Athlete laurels in 2019. Harvey, a 3.94 GPA in biology, a 2-time MVC Commissioner's Academic Excellence Award recipient. The official bank of the Missouri Valley Conference, Enterprise Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
That GPA, 3.94 in biology. Good for her.
Terrific performance on and off the field, in the classroom. And here come the Salukis out of the timeout with a 1-point lead, Kevin.
Well, Domask already with 12 points. That puts him in the top 10 in the Valley for freshman scoring. He just surpassed Cameron Krutwig of Loyola and Darrell Brown as far as points as a freshman. Climbing the list.
He has the ball now and guarded now by Riley. See if that slows him down. Riley, always an aggressive defender. He'll shadow him.
Good adjustments by Bryan Mullins, though, because they got the early foul problems on Barret Benson.
All alone, Domask found himself by himself in the lane.
They're playing without a post, Southern Illinois. Benson with 2, so they've spread it out. Tackle a dribble drive and sent cutters to the rim.
Cunliffe is going to work on McGill. Good defense from McGill, cutting off the baseline, and Cunliffe dribbles it out of bounds.
Well, Cunliffe at 6'8", over McGill 6'2". But he had a mismatch. Quick feet, great lateral movement, and this is what the Salukis do. They defend without fouling, one of the best in the country.
That's why you work on those defensive slide drills over and over, right?
Put a couple bricks in your hand, go lane line to lane line.
McGill, oh, getting around Lubinowitz, and he'll go to the line. What a move there, getting the defender up in the air.
Well, that's senior experience by Eric McGill.
So Eric McGill, who's going to work on 4 points. Number 4 knocks it down. And Terrace Center, boy, there's some electricity in here right now.
And that's what Bryan Mullins told us. You know, he knows these fans will follow you if you play hard, you get on the floor. Call it playing with steel-toed boots, much like Bryan Mullins played when he was here at the Salukis. Fan base appreciate the effort.
They're waiting for that big run, and Southern Illinois pulling away slightly, a 5-point lead. Evansville, do they have enough to hang in this game?
They've been digging dry holes. There's a great play.
Inside to Newton. The sophomore from El Paso.
Kuhlman with the ball fake. He thought about the 3. Great basket cut by Newton. Evansville's got some easy baskets around the rim as they've spread out this Saluki, and they've used their help defense against the Salukis.
Domask. They bring it back to McGill. Brown has it stripped, and here come the Aces back the other way with Givens to Riley, lays it in. It's down to a 1-point game with 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, that's what KJ Riley does. He's as good as anyone in the league in playing downhill. Soft kiss out the window.
11 newcomers for Bryan Mullins on this SIU team, starting to make some freshman and newcomer mistakes as Evansville with a chance to take the lead back.
The back-to-back plays by Evansville with quick hands. See no post.
Riley looks up at the shot clock, down to 3, has his pocket picked by Jones. Lance Jones lays it in for the Salukis.
Great effort by the freshman. Jones picks the pocket, then finishes at the other end. 4-point swing.
The Chicago area product from Evanston. SIU by 3. Under 4 minutes, first half. And Riley with the basket. He's fouled. He'll go to the line with a chance to tie when we come back. It's a battle. The Aces and the Salukis. Why wouldn't it be? It's the Missouri Valley Conference. The Valley on ESPN. The Aces strike right back with KJ Riley. Back after this. Back at SIU. Halftime coming up. Presentation of State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM or by visiting statefarm.com. We'll hear more about Eric McGill. We'll have some stats and highlights for you. Kevin Lehman alongside Tom Ackerman. Kevin, the scoring so far, Marcus Domask off and running.
14 points for the freshman. He's done it every way possible. He puts Cunliffe in the spin cycle, finishes at the rim, and then the old school crossover move, power at the rim. Clicks his heels, rings the bell, hangs it up there. Nothing but nylon for the freshman. He's got 14 points, 6 of 7 from the field. This freshman is playing like a senior.
You know who I like watching? Lance Jones. I like that little pass right there. A little nonchalant, just left it for him. He's got a good vision for the game, good feel.
Never played point guard, Lance Jones, until the injury to Aaron Cook.
Riley completes the three-point play. We're tied again.
You mentioned Jones. He leads all freshmen in the Valley in assists at over 2.5 a game.
McGill all alone for the layup. He got around the defender. Just willed his way to the basket around Newton.
Concern with Todd Licklighters today was stopping the dribble drives of the Salukis.
Newton draws the double team, finds Kuhlman. Now Newton on Brown. Tough basket. Jawan Newton right back.
Both teams giving up buckets at the rim.
Under 3 minutes first half. We got a good ball game here in the Valley, Evansville, Southern Illinois. Glad you're with us for it. And that is a block. I'm going to call the foul on Kuhlman. First personal on Kuhlman. And it's a 1-1 now as Southern Illinois is in the bonus on the 7th foul on the Aces. Brown checks out of the game for SIU. Suggs at the line.
If you're Barry Mullins, you're trying to get through this first half. Barret Benson, your center, on the bench as he picked up 2 at the 4 minutes and 30 seconds into this game.
Ronnie Suggs Jr. from St. Louis came to SIU by way of Mizzou. Just that one long, 1 of 2. 1-point lead for SIU.
In his first 2 years for Ronnie Suggs in the Valley, playing for the Bradley Braves. Well traveled.
Here he is in Carbondale. We had that Bradley Missouri State game last night, pal. That was some slugfest there. Those two physical teams. Arch Madness is going to be something else. Look at this basket by Cunliffe.
Cunliffe is quick off the wood.
Aces take the lead. We've had a back and forth game here. 33-32. Evansville holding strong here.
The trading baskets, Tom, is like who can stop the other.
Crowd's grown a little concerned now. That's the thing when you have a big crowd like that and suddenly gets quiet. It can stay quiet for a while. The toss inside and a foul called. Trying to get it was Karrington Davis. They get Cunliffe with the foul. That's his second. So Davis goes to the line. Let's take a look.
Jones inside. Comes Cunliffe over the top. Karrington Davis with a nice slice cut on the baseline. Tom, remember just 15 days ago, these two teams met up. It went into OT in Evansville. They're trading blow for blow here today in the first half.
Davis, a redshirt freshman, transfer from Nebraska. The miss there on the 1-and-1 opportunity. 1-point lead for the Aces. In hostile territory on the road, big crowd, and pretty quiet at the moment as the Aces are hanging on to this lead. Long three, Givens hits it. Oh, wow. Shamar Givens hits the 3 from way downtown and right back the other end. It's SIU with Francois.
Trading hoops. Givens was 1 of 8 His last 3 games, 0 for 7 from 3.
That's how you answer that. Cunliffe with the drive, and they're going to call a block as Cunliffe went crashing into Davis. I beg your pardon, Jones takes the brunt of that, and a block on Jones. So here comes Cunliffe to the line with a 1-point lead and a minute to go in the first half. And Sam Cunliffe can't knock that down. Into the game for SIU, Brendan Gooch. And Jones, who's played a good half, will take a seat. Cunliffe with 7 points on the night. One of 2 for Cunliffe, and Frederking comes in for him. So Evansville by 2 with a minute to go here before halftime. McGill out there with Domask and Gooch, along with Davis, and this is McGill, hits the 3 and he's fouled. A chance for a 4-point play for Eric McGill. Boy, we've seen some long distance dialing here and some contact on this play. Eric McGill hits the 3 and the foul is called as Newton got him on the arm. You can see the reaction of Juwan Newton. Can't make the 4-point play. Riley with the rebound. 1-point lead for SIU.
You got about a 15-second differential on that shot clock and game clock, so the Salukis can get this back.
Coleman. Now for Givens. Riley picked up by Davis. Riley. Baseline, can't beat the shot clock. It goes out of bounds. It's SIU's ball with 12.8 on the clock.
Just enough time, Tom, to get some penetration, set up a play, a ball screen, or get Domask one-on-one.
Domask will inbound. And McGill will let it roll to him. Here we go, and a timeout is called in the front court. 38-37 SIU trying to go into the half with a lead. How much of a lead, we'll find out.
Well, Tom, remember, and they had 2 seconds left in that game against Missouri State, and they got it in the hands of the freshman, Marcus Domask, and he finished for the Salukis. See if Bryan Mullins goes the same, gets his freshman a touch.
We'll see what they do after the 30-second timeout. They're having some fun here at this building, but again, a little bit of a concern with Evansville playing a strong first half of action, and the home team trying to pick up its 10th win in league play is in for a fight. So the inbound will go to Domask right off the Evansville bench.
And Barret Benson back in the game. 2 fouls.
Benson, number 40, on the right elbow. It's going to be McGill, and he gets it to go. Eric McGill at the buzzer. That one off the rim, but don't believe that would have counted for Frederking, maybe. But it's SIU with the lead at the half by 3. What a half. 40-37. You want some scoring? We got it. Let's check in with SIU coach Bryan Mullins. It's Casey's General Store. Plans for the second half. Here's Kevin Lehman.
Hey, Bryan, Barret Benson picks up that second foul early. What adjustments did you need to make when he had to go to the bench?
Yeah, we had to play smaller in the first half, and Barrett's a big key for our defense and offense, so we gave up way too many easy baskets in that first half.
Yeah, how would you grade out your defense in the first half?
Yeah, not very good. Not good enough to win.
All right, thanks, Coach. All right, back to you, Tom.
All right, Kevin, our chat with the coach is brought to you by Casey's General Store. Casey's, here for good. We'll come back, our State Farm halftime report, as we look at SIU McGill, the final shot of the half. Salukis by 3. Welcome to our halftime report, a presentation of State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM or by visiting statefarm.com. It's time for tonight's profile. It's made possible by Arch Madness 2020. MVC correspondent Brad Gray takes a look at SIU's Eric McGill.
For guard Eric McGill, his senior season has brought on added responsibility.
Being a senior guard with a lot of young people, it's challenging because I'm not a very vocal leader. I don't talk a lot, but it challenged me to just being a leader, just taking their role, just forcing me to help the young guys, the new guys, just put them in the right position and just giving them confidence to go out there and play as hard as they can.
Eric has a big impact, just his experience and his ability to create for others. I've always said that about him. He can pass, shoot, and dribble. He's a dynamic guard, and he's an experienced guard. So when he's playing well, our team's playing well. He's being more consistent with his approach every single day in terms of getting in the gym, taking care of his body, going hard in practice, and then in the weight room as well.
McGill's return to SIU has helped build the foundation for this season.
The returners, they've done well in this league before and extremely talented as well. So with that mixture of the new guys coming in and the returners that are here well as kind of the foundation, so it was a great recipe for a chance at success.
When people come and watch me play, they can expect excitement, they can expect fun, they can expect to just be out of their seats and just being able to just feel the vibe of the crowd, just be able to get loud, wherever they and just be able to cheer. Our culture is a basketball community and is a basketball team. Is one of those hard work, just defensive type of, hard-nosed type of guys. Just go out there and outwork our opponent each time, and just go into practice, just willing to work hard. My goals for the remainder of the season, just to win out probably, just win each game by game, and just help do whatever my team needs me to help us win.
For the Valley on ESPN, I'm Brad Gray.
Welcome back to Banterra Center, our State Farm halftime report with Southern Illinois leading Evansville 40-37. And courtside with Kevin Lehman, I'm Tom Ackerman. How about that first half? Bryan Mullins not very happy with the defense.
His team shot 75%, Tom, but they're only up 3 because Evansville shot 55%. Both teams slow out of the gate, but they certainly heated up as it got going on.
Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights, and it's sponsored by Live by Lowe's St. Louis. Let's take a look. And right away, Evansville trying to make something happen.
Cunliffe with a big 3, then he got the feed inside to KJ, then Givens, long-range bomb. Domask hangs one out there for a 3. Last Jones gets the pick 6, gets the steal and finishes. And McGill, chance for a 4-point play, doesn't make the free throw, but he's got 13. McGill does. Marcus Domask, the freshman, with 14 in the first half.
Want to experience the newest hotel in downtown St. Louis, located next to Ballpark Village? Visit livebylowes.com to book your hotel room today. We'll get you back to Carbondale. Second half action right around the corner. Salukis by 3 at home, Banterra Center. As we take a look at our first half highlights, production of Purina Dog Chow, crafted in the USA by people who care with high quality ingredients. That's the Dog Chow promise. Look at 75% shooting in the first half for the Salukis, 66.7 from 3. The bench points, Evansville leading SIU 11-3, but out rebounding, out stealing. More assists, but trailing this game because of the hot shooting by SIU. Tight game, 40-37. Let's go now to Kevin Lehman and take a look at our second half plans from Evansville coach Todd Licklider.
Hey, Todd, your guys shoot at 55%. You only turn over four times, but you're down here in the first half. What's your thoughts on that performance?
They shot 75%. Yeah, they got it to the rim on us. I told the guys, I can't wait for the day that we play both ends really well. Play the offensive end. And defensively, I mean, give them their due. They made shots, and they got good shots, so we're just going to have to figure out how to keep them out of the paint.
How about DeAndre Williams? We see more of him in the second half?
I hope so. I hope so. He, you know, early foul trouble is the only situation, so he feels good, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, thanks, Coach. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Kevin. Chat with the coaches brought to you by Casey's General Store. Casey's, here for good. Second half, SIU leads Evansville by 3, and here we go. Jones controlling for the Salukis, and it is some game here. We'll see in the second half if the defense tightens up. But Valley Basketball, the Valley on ESPN, is brought to you by Casey's General Store. Sign up for new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools.
Well, Tom, the league has also tightened up. Indiana State with a win over the Panthers of Northern Iowa. That puts the Salukis a game and a half out of first place.
Wow, Indiana State was up big in that game. Northern Iowa came back, made it a game, lose by 3 in Terre Haute, and we are tied at the top with UNI and Loyola. Here's Southern Illinois with a 9-5 league record, taking on Evansville. Benson with a miss, tipping it to himself. Look who's back in the game. DeAndre Williams, here he comes, and tries to dish it away. Now we have a collision inside, and it's going to be on Williams, and it's going to be his third foul.
Someone was going to pick up a third foul on that play as Benson stepped in front of Williams, a bit out of control. Benson taking the blow. Williams. Coaches keep on the court here with his third. They'll let him play.
Frustrating game for DeAndre Williams, who started out with 2 quick fouls. His first game in 12 games that he missed with the back trouble. And look at the move inside by the aforementioned Benson, and SIU goes up 5. I mean, this is a player, Kevin, and Williams, that scored 26 in his debut against Ball State. He had 37 in a game against Miami of Ohio. I mentioned 4-time MVC newcomer of the week, and so far not much to show. No points on 2 missed shots.
We'd be third in the Valley in scoring, third in rebounding, first in field goal percentage.
There he is, Williams, right on cue.
Heard you talking about him. And Todd Licklider said it's going to be tough because, you know, his adrenaline's going to be pumping and sitting out 12 games. And understand how frustrating it is for young men not to be able to play.
And he is called for his 4th foul. So Williams collided with Benson moments before that, turned, looked at Bert Smith, wanted a foul called on Benson. Instead, he does this.
Lance Jones did a nice job of selling that collision also.
And 4 fouls on DeAndre Williams, and after making that basket moments ago, he will sit with 2 points.
Well, he got the bucket, got the lid off the basket. Hoping some big things were going to come, but now he picked up the 4th.
Meanwhile, Domask goes back to work, and a foul is called. Underneath is Kuhlman. And for Evan Kuhlman, that's his 2nd.
Licklider upset that the whistles are going on this side.
Already 3 fouls on Evansville in this half.
And Kuhlman looked like he was in good position. Licklider still out in the court.
McGill feeds Benson, but he traveled. Other way we go.
Benson's got that old school where he shows you and steps under. Successful on the first trip. That time drug the pivot foot.
Part of Northwestern's triumphant debut in the NCAA tournament back in 2016-17. There's a block on Jones.
Well, Todd Licklider had been chirping in the officials' ears, Gene Grimshaw and Jeff Malham there, about the charge calls all going for Southern that time. He's able to pick one up on Lance Jones.
So Trent Brown comes in for him. freshman in for a freshman.
Barret Benson, interesting story. You know, he grew up 10 minutes from the Mullins household. Had played for Mike Mullins in AAU. That'd be Brian's dad. So they had somewhat of a relationship when he decided to leave Northwestern after 3 years with his degree in hand.
Benson from Willowbrook, Illinois. The 6'10" center for SIU, and this team holding on to a 3-point lead. Evansville threatening. Riley. Baseline J, no. Benson grabs the board.
The Salukis have done an outstanding job of keeping Riley from getting into the paint. He's averaging over 7 free throw attempts per game.
Domask. Skying for the rebound is Cunliffe. He'll take one.
That one off target for Cunliffe. He had good rhythm in that shot. Misfired badly. Benson, no help defense. He's got one-on-one in there.
Smooth left hand for Benson.
He's really improved. I had their game earlier, right around New Year's against Bradley. Barret Benson and Bryan Mullins, he's gotten stronger, more physical, better condition. You can see it in his game.
SIU by 5. Coolman had an open look. Frederking able to keep it alive. Here's Coolman again. Double teamed. Who's open? Riley blocked by Benson. And now Riley hits the deck. And a foul is called, but what a block before that.
Great recovery by Benson. Comes out of the clouds to get a piece of this.
And then Suggs committed the foul. So Evansville basketball underneath the bucket. On the baseline, Frederking.
Great timing by Barret Benson. He's got that senior urgency about him also.
Well, they do have a good mix. They've got some experience on this team. Lots of freshmen. Most notably Domask, but they're playing a lot of freshmen here. Here's another steal. Suggs gets it to Domask. He's taking his time.
Bryan Mullins talked about his blueprint. He wants a young team that he could develop them and keep them a couple years as they develop their culture and their system.
Suggs is fouled. He goes to the free throw line. Well, SIU comes out strong. It's 44-39. Hang on. Valley basketball continues after this. What a job they're doing at Ballpark Village. Downtown St. Louis, right next to Busch Stadium. Look at this. Records at home. 14-0 for UNI, but look at the others.
And Bradley actually moved to 15-1 with their win last night, the game you called over Missouri State. Drake goes to 14-1 with their win over Valpo. Indiana State a win today. They're at 11-1. The top 6 teams, the top six best records in the Valley, Tom, combined 78-7 at home.
That's why these road wins are so precious if you can get one, and you have to defend your home court if you're going to win this league.
A piece of gold in your pocket, a road win in the Valley.
Arch Madness right around the corner. The seeding very much up in the air. Teams trying to avoid playing in those 2 play-ins on Thursday to have 3 games instead of 4.
30th year in St. Louis. The only league that stayed in the same place longer, the Big East, playing in the Garden.
McGill looks inside, but now a whistle, and we're going back the other way. That foul is on Benson, and that's number 3 on Barret Benson.
Benson dislodging Coolman in the post. Point of emphasis in this year. Offense cannot dislodge a defender. Good call. Bryan Mullins doesn't like it, but that was the correct call.
So Brendan Gooch comes back into the game. Benson takes a seat. And Southern Illinois protecting a 6-point lead.
We'll see if Southern goes back to that 5-out, no post offense with Benson on the bench. Great move by Riley. Patience, hesitation, split the defenders. Easy basket.
Love watching him play. Look at that, first made field goal since late in the first half. They needed that one. Southern Illinois up by 4, and now a foul is called. And that goes against Newton.
KJ Riley has surpassed the 1,000-point career scoring mark. Not on that basket, but on the last one he had in the first half.
McGill open at the elbow, high arcing shot, no. Cunliffe goes up to get it.
Cunliffe can rebound it and start the break for you. This Evansville team, they're hanging around, Tom.
Givens fires one into the seats. Not often you see that from the league's best assist to turnover ratio man.
Well, that was going to John Locke, the SID. He could have caught that for an assist.
He's always aware. He's paying attention over there.
Givens got sped up. Got in amongst those trees. Tried to flare it out to a three-point shooter.
McGill waits for Suggs. Now Suggs makes his move, and he's fouled by Cunliffe. SIU patient offensively.
Well, they've got the weave going with no post. Let's see who can turn the corner. At times, Suggs goes to his weak hand. He's a left-hander. Suggs, an outstanding free throw shooter. He's only missed 5 this season. He's so good, we cannot even give him the announcer's jinx at the free throw line.
Salukis trying to go up 6 here. 6 minutes into this second half. Suggs knocks them both down.
I told you, you can't give him the jinx. That one with a magnetic roll sucked it in.
David Kaplan accused me of jinxing Missouri State Bears and Bradley Braves last night.
There's 2 guys you can't jinx. You can't jinx Ronnie Suggs, and you cannot jinx A.J. Green from Northern Iowa.
Going up to get it was Riley, but it goes out of bounds, and it's back to SIU.
They're trying to post Riley inside on a smaller defender.
Salukis looking to open up their biggest lead.
Only 4 turnovers in the first half by Evansville. They've got 4 already in this half as Southern has tightened up their defense.
Buckets for McGill.
He can go right, he can go left. It's that spread offense with Barret Benson on the bench. Salukis driving it to the nail.
Biggest lead of the game, 8. And now 15 points for McGill. He is the leading scorer in the game. Cunliffe.
Good defense by Ronnie Suggs.
McGill, such a leader, but as you heard at halftime, says I'm not a vocal leader. It's not the easiest thing for him. He can do that. Just misses. Riley. Now for Cunliffe. They just can't get it to fall. Riley, turnaround, no. Rebound Domask, SIU trying to pick up the pace here.
We've seen some frustration out in Evansville. That was excellent ball movement. Extra pass. Misfired on the shot.
Mullins shouting out instruction from the bench. Wants him to run that offense. Domask, it runs through him, and an offensive foul as he barrels into the defender. And still down is Newton.
Well, Domask has the mismatch on this post-up. Oh, obvious forearm shove-off by the freshman.
Newton goes down hard, but he stays in the game. Checking out is Kuhlman. Frederking comes in. Labinowitz in for Evansville. Big changes here on both sides as SIU makes some wholesale substitutions as well. 49-41 SIU, nearing the 12-minute mark in the game.
Yeah, Evansville's got to get something going here at the offensive end. They have digging, but coming up with dry wells.
Given so quick. Staying right with him is Brown. Frederking hits the three. They needed that. Noah Frederking from long distance. It's a 5-point game.
Well, Gibbons kept penetrating, drawing the second defender. Got the defense to suck in on the weak side. Frederking with a big-time step-in three.
Domask tries to answer and can't. Frederking with the rebound, and here come the Aces. Todd Licklider pacing the bench, waiting patiently for his offense to come alive here in the second half.
Logan Bauman, his assistant, who spent time with Patino at Kentucky, runs this offense for Todd Licklider. He's the defensive man.
Hall, he gets it done. And it's a 3-point game.
A strong finish by Hall. Muscled that one in the basket.
Teams have slowed down here. It was 40-37 at the half. It's 9-9 here in the second half. Offensive foul on Jones.
We're going to have a discussion on this one between Bert Smith
and Bert Smith.
Well, Todd Licklider is not going to like this.
Just talked Jeff Mollum into changing that call. Todd Licklider will have a conversation. You be the judge. Block or charge?
Well, we've got to see where his feet are.
Back after this. March Madness, there's nothing like it. The road to the Final Four goes through St. Louis. The 2020 NCAA men's basketball first and second rounds, March 19th and 21st at Enterprise Center, hosted by the Missouri Valley Conference. Visit ncaa.com/MVB tickets and get your seats today. What a month it's going to be in St. Louis. Will SIU be one of the teams in the NCAA tournament? Got to get through Arch Madness, and defense will get it done for the Salukis in the end. 10th in the nation in points per game allowed. And look at that. Their coach over a decade ago involved in the same type situation.
The only time they've had better points per game defensive production was Bryan Mullins. His junior year, that team went to NIT. You see Benson with a great recovery. And we saw that flag hang in 2007 NCAA for the Salukis, the last trip they made to the tournament. That would be Bryan Mullins' sophomore year.
Well, there was a time where it was almost a given that Southern Illinois would be involved in fighting for the conference title. This is going to be Evansville basketball. And Todd Licklider and the Aces down by 5, putting up a fight at SIU, a team that is trying to get things going after a loss to Bradley recently.
They've dropped 2 in a row. The Salukis had 4 bad halves of shooting the basketball. Came back strong in that second half against Bradley, but still was a loss.
Gibbons off-balance shot won't go. Evansville's cooled off here, shooting 47% for the game. SIU still at 65%.
Well, Bryan Mullins didn't want to talk much at halftime because his team had just given up 55% from the field. He You want to get on that grease board, make some adjustments for the Salukis.
And Evansville shooting just 30% in the second half. Now a travel is called. And that goes against Jones. Coming back into the game is KJ Riley. You know what that means. Drives to the basket.
They need to get him isolated. But Lance Jones has been spectacular in the defense of KJ Riley.
Here's Riley, matched up against Lance Jones. Now they move him to the corner.
There's 10 eyeballs on the ball. It's tough to get dribble drives.
Hall throws one off the glass. Shot clock expires. And it is SIU ball, up 5, 9:26 to go now.
That's the 9th turnover on the Purple Aces. Very clean first half. They only had 4. The Salukis have stepped up the pressure defensively here in the second half.
SIU is in the bonus. 7 fouls on Evansville. 1-and-1 opportunities. For the time being, Benson goes right around Hall and scores. Barret Benson. And Benson now with 6 points to go along with 2 rebounds.
Well, Evansville is digging at the post on Benson's catch, but he is being aggressive and getting to the rim before the double solidifies.
Riley fouled on the drive.
This is great. I call it the 3 C's of post plays. You catch it, you chin it, you check for the defense, no double, make your move. Great footwork.
Classic post play there. So Riley, who, as my partner said, lives at that free throw line, has only shot 1 today. He made it. And he misses that. He has 9 points, 4 of 11 shooting for KJ Riley from the floor.
Very rarely do you see this. He's made 133 free throws, KJ Riley, and 101 field goals. Anthony Smith of Murray State is another rare player like that that has more free throws than field goals.
Riley hits 1 of 2. Evansville still hanging around, down by 6, under 9 minutes. Got a feeling this game's going to take a turn here shortly. This place has been waiting for something explosive to happen.
Benson fighting for real estate.
McGill working on 15 points, has that knocked away. He wanted a foul, didn't get it. Riley almost lost control of it. Labinowitz, no. Rebound, Williams back in the game playing with 4 fouls. Labinowitz shakes 1 defender and can't get that to go. Tried to keep it alive, did Williams, but Benson comes up with it for SIU.
Well, Labinowitz with 2 great looks. Didn't knock him down.
Jones, and he's fouled by Kuhlman. 3 on Kuhlman, 8th foul for Evansville. Southern Illinois down is Evansville. The Salukis can't quite pull away just yet. We'll see when we come back to SIU. Back at SIU, join us Sunday, February 23rd, this Sunday, for more men's basketball action. The Valley on ESPN. Evansville will host Indiana State at the Ford Center in Evansville. Exclusive coverage begins at 1 p.m. Central. The Valley on ESPN. Here's an interesting stat. SIU doesn't have an offensive rebound yet in this game, and that's partly because they're not really playing a post game, but still. There's our net rankings. UNI's been up there all season. Loyola in the top 100. Bradley knocking on the door. seems about right. Those are the top 3 teams in the league. Indiana State, big win today over Northern Iowa.
And Northern Iowa trying to position himself for an at-large bid should they not win the Valley tournament. Losing back-to-backs at Loyola and Indiana State will put a blow to that net ranking. And here's what I use for perspective, Tom. Last year, Belmont with a 47 net was the last at-large team taken. And they won a first-round game against Temple. So you see Northern Iowa's getting close to being that bubble position. They were 34 net before the loss at Loyola, dropped to 40. Now at the loss at Indiana State. We'll see where they come up with a net tomorrow.
Free throws good for Lance Jones, and Southern Illinois expands the lead to 8 with under 8 minutes to go. Does Evansville have anything left? They've been outscored 15-10 here in this second half. It was a big first half. 40-37 was the score at the break.
DeAndre Williams back in the game for Evansville, playing with 4 fouls.
Givens misses the layup. And SIU trying to blow the doors off here. Jones, 3. And the rebound to Williams. They need him. DeAndre Williams with 2 points. Goes to the hole, tries to throw it down, and it slapped away. Jones in traffic, goes out of bounds, back to Evansville.
Active hands by the Salukis on Williams' drive. Lance Jones is going into traffic. He's got to try and finish that one. Tom, he's trying to make a pass with all those bodies and arms coming at him. Good defense by the Salukis.
Coleman holds for Riley, guarded by Domask. Riley working on him. Trying to get to that basket. Now he goes outside for Coleman. There's Williams. Tries to feed to Riley. Givens. Cunliffe hit as he shot it. And the shot clock had expired as the ball went off the rim. Missed it.
We've talked a lot about Marcus Domask efficiency at the offensive end. He's been tremendous on keeping KJ Riley out of the paint.
He's been working extremely hard. He's played 32 minutes. Doesn't come out of the game. Benson. Now there's Domask. McGill goes to the free throw line. And they have tried to keep Domask and McGill quiet here in this second half. That's not easy to do. Those two are playing the bulk of this game. There's McGill.
He's been good all game. Turn the corner, get to the rim. At the free throw line. Salukis with their 17th and 18th trip to the line. Evansville only been there 6 times. Kept KJ Riley under control.
Evansville down by 9. It's Riley bringing it up the floor for the Aces. Under 6 minutes now.
Now it's Lance Jones on Riley.
Domask is guarding Williams away from the ball. Riley on Jones. No, and Domask gets the rebound. Wow, what a job by Jones.
Walled up, hands in the ceiling.
You appreciate good defense like that. Benson, offensive. Oh, the block is called on Coleman. He smashed the smaller player and did not have position. There it is again.
Oh, a mistake Coleman made. He didn't show his hands. That's one thing that Southern does as well as anyone. Defend without fouling. They're winning the battle at the free throw line. been the difference in this game, especially in the second half.
Southern Illinois with its biggest lead. It's now 10 with 5.5 to go. Aces have some work to do, especially how they've cooled off here in this second half. Shooting just 21% of the second half, Kevin. Williams, he'll go to the free throw line. 21%. 4 of 19 in the second half. You think Bryan Mullins had a few things to say in the locker room?
Yeah, I'd like to be a mouse in that locker room. I tried to ask him that second question at halftime interview, plans for the second half. He wanted no part of that. He was all dialed in the adjustments he was going to make defensively, and his team has responded.
Evansville shot 55% of the first half. SIU shot 75% of the first half. 41 here in the second half for 62 for the game. Williams gets the free throw to roll in. 3 points for him. First free throw on the day. He has 6 rebounds to lead this team.
Williams has played most of this game trying to be a facilitator. I like what he did on that last possession. Got aggressive, took it to the basket, drew the contact.
He's only played 10 minutes because of foul trouble. 4 fouls for DeAndre Williams. Kuhlman also in the game, number 10. He has 4 fouls. See how SIU attacks them. Kuhlman is guarding Benson. Williams on Domask. Have an idea where this ball is going. One of those two. Benson draws 2 in the air. Domask takes the shot, hits the 3.
Outstanding relocation by the freshman. Domask drew the second and third defender, and immediately, or Benson did, immediately Domask went to the open wood on the wing. Barret Benson found him.
On the other side, Kuhlman can't connect. And it's starting to get away from Evansville here. Benson to Jones. He'll attack. Jones with the lay-in. Lance Jones, the freshman guard. SIU up by 13.
Quick to the rim. Jones.
Crowd loves it. They're on their feet at Banterra Center as the run comes for SIU. Better late than never. Lance Jones and the Salukis up 13. Valley fans, we will see you in St. Louis. Got to get that Arch Madness app. I have it.
Oh, and so do I. Oh, what a tournament this is going to be, Tom. Elijah Childs back for Bradley. You saw him last night. Another double-double by Childs.
66-49, Southern Illinois trying to slam the door here with 2:17 to go. SIU up by 3 at the half, has dominated this second half defensively. Evansville shooting just 17% of the second half. They'll have to take on Indiana State next. That's on Sunday. Then a trip to Cedar Falls, and they'll wrap it up at home against Illinois State. The Purple Aces.
A tremendous improvement under Todd Licklider. They hit a bump in the road today, but prior to this, they had upped their shooting, their scoring about 14 points a game. Field goal percentage up, 3-point percentage up. And they have trouble finding the net here in the second half as the Salukis have clamped down.
So encouraging early this season with a win over #1 Kentucky in Rupp Arena. The city of Evansville filled with Kentucky fans. And those Evansville fans had a lot to chirp about and had a good time with it, but then some trouble within the program there. A coaching change. Walter McCarty out, Todd Licklider in. Evansville fans have had to be patient watching Licklider guide this team here in this second portion of the season.
Oh, this is a young team for Todd Licklider. The senior KJ Riley, everyone else back next year. And they had to play the last 12 games prior to this one without DeAndre Williams.
Yeah, they just had one thing after the other, and McGill with the miss there would have been 20 points for him. He's had some game. SIU, it's just, you know, you're kind of waiting. A lot of people are wondering, are they for real or not? Oh, what a putback by Williams. DeAndre Williams, his 8th point, with an exclamation point there. And now a timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout with 1:16 on the clock.
You see the talent of Williams, back-to-back baskets. He times that one perfectly, climbs the ladder, punches it through for the Purple Aces.
SIU absolutely clamped down defensively here in the second half, and that's what the rest of the teams have to expect. You know, when they go to Northern Iowa, they can be tough to deal with. Now, Northern Iowa losing at Indiana State today. And then the Indiana State Sycamores will be here. And then that classic matchup, Southern Illinois and Missouri State. Always fun when they get together, February 29th to wrap up the season in Springfield.
Well, Southern Illinois now 2 games. They'll win this one. 2 games out of first. And you get to play the team ahead of you, even though it's at the McLeod Center. But that is an opportunity for Southern to jam up the top, the leaderboard in the Valley.
And now Jones goes flying over the scorer's table as things get a little rough there right in front. Jones gets knocked into the table and loses his momentum.
Some quickness out of Mason Glick over there. Jones is coming right at him.
Yeah, he's right in the picture. Well, that table, they've had a couple things going on. They had a basketball fly over there, now a person.
You want to be in the picture, not taking the picture. Well, in that case, you want to be taking the picture, not in the picture.
Now the officials want to take a look and make sure nothing flagrant happened there. Or perhaps at the situation. Yeah, there's a little shove there from Cunliffe.
Now this is our basketball play. Nothing above the shoulders.
Players of the game, a presentation of State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM or by visiting statefarm.com. We're going with Eric McGill, 18 points for the Salukis in this effort today, and KJ Riley. It was hard work against that wall of defense. 4 of 12 shooting for 10 points.
And McGill getting to the free throw line and to the rim throughout this whole game. The senior, outstanding leadership.
So after that, it's a common foul on Cunliffe, his 4th. Mullins calling over his team one last time here.
KJ Riley, 10 points. He's earned those 10. The defense has been outstanding, keeping KJ Riley from going downhill and getting into the heart of the defense. Lance Jones has been good too, Tom. Back at the free throw line, he's got 13, the freshman, 5 of 7. And he's the one guy who committed to Barry Hinson and stayed with his commitment to the Salukis.
Yeah, Jones is a good player. 14 points for him. 2 rebounds and an assist, a steal, a block. 5 of 7 from the floor, plays an efficient game. He's kind of everywhere. And hits another free throw. He's good there too.
A physical guard, Lance Jones, he's 6'1", 200 pounds. It's like he eats weights for breakfast. Strong dude.
4 of 5 from the line. McGill comes out to a big hand along with Benson. They played a great game. So did Domask, who's still on the floor.
They've switched the ball screens and kept Riley out of the middle.
Coolman misses iron there. And we're under a minute at Banterra Center. There's Domask with a slam, and they love it in Carbondale. They're freshmen. He's got a lot of big basketball coming for this community. SIU's back. They're going to get their 10th win in league play.
Leaked out. Evansville, no one got back and communicated.
Newton with the miss. Domask will hold on to it, and they'll start to work this clock. 70 to 53, Southern Illinois will go 10-5 in Valley play. Who would have thought?
Yeah, picked last. I mentioned that earlier. In the 36 years in the Valley, only 3 times that the last place team finished in the top half of the Valley. Here's a Southern team with 10 Valley wins in Mullins' first year at the bench.
They run out the shot clock, and they'll give it to Evansville with 8 seconds. Bryan Mullins going to get his 10th win in the league in 15 tries. I'll tell you what, that is hard to do.
In this league.
In this league, in your first year, in a program that needs a jump start, and he's provided it. And Evansville will drop this game 70 to 53 at Banterra Center. A big crowd sees the home team come alive in the second half and earn its 10th Valley win. Bryan Mullins still in the running for a regular season title. Southern Illinois, with Northern Iowa losing today, gains a little ground.
Well, they got their mojo back, Tom. That was one of the keys for Southern today. Now they got to take it on the road to McLeod Center. A chance to knock off one of those tied at the top of the Valley, Northern Iowa, along with Loyola. This is a Saluki team on the move.
Well, Evansville drops this one on the road, and you can join us on Thursday, February 27th for women's basketball coverage. The Valley at ESPN. Illinois State plays host to Missouri State. The Lady Bears, boy, they're good. At Redbird Arena in Normal, Illinois. Exclusive coverage begins 7:30 Central. The Valley on ESPN. The next men's basketball game will be on Sunday, February 23rd. This Sunday, Evansville at home against Indiana State at 1 p.m. at the Ford Center. The Valley on ESPN. So for Kevin Lehman, I'm Tom Ackerman. We say so long from Carbondale. It's SIU, a winner here tonight over Evansville, 70 to 53. All games airing on the ESPN networks, streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. Thanks for watching tonight's contest. This has been a presentation of ESPN.